Hello everyone out there in YouTube world. Right, this is a tutorial about cultivating one's chi, as requested as well by the 1995 kid, who's also a subscriber to our Chi family channel. So yes, 1995 kid, yes, we really do appreciate your support on our channel, and thank you for your wonderful and very welcoming comments. Thank you. It's much appreciated. And I did say I was going to be doing some tutorials about Chi. I've kept my promise. Right, for those of you who've never heard about Chi, who don't know about Chi, Chi is bioelectricity, which is the scientists they label it. But Chi is a thing that's been long before man ever evolved in life. Chi is an energy which its original place is in the universe. Some may be skeptical about it, where it comes from. They probably might say, oh, it doesn't exist. Oh, it does. It's part of your life force in a massive way, I should say. It's your energy battery. Without Chi, and I've mentioned on previous videos, we would not exist. Plants would not exist. Animals, insects, anything that has got a life force would not exist. The universe is a humongous life force in its own right. Look what exists in the universe. There's planets, there's stars. Need I say any more? The universe is endless. And so is Chi. Chi is endless. It really is. Chi will always be here before we are born and after we are no longer in a physical existence. Chi will always be there, and guaranteed it will. So yes, getting back to the 1995 kid. Yes, Chi, how to cultivate one's Chi. Well, there's various practices that you could participate in. One of the earliest recorded information about cultivating one's inner strength is through the practices of yoga. And as we know, yoga originates from India. So you're going back thousands of years, literally, you really are. And then, of course, with the Chinese, they were taught yoga and inner energy cultivation by a very well famous prince, known to the Chinese as Damo or Tamo, or we know through the Buddhism texts as Bodhidharma. Apparently he was an Indian prince originally, from what I know about myself through reading through the texts about the history of him. Yeah, he was an Indian prince, and he gave up all his wealth to practice Buddhism. Now it's the thing with Buddhism, people kind of label it as a religion. That's their opinion of it. But what I know from it, more than ever before, because Maxine, she's a practitioner of Buddhism. We call people who practice Buddhism, who live through it, who don't go to any of the temples or anything like that, called lay Buddhist practitioners. You get them everywhere. So no, I am a lay Buddhist practitioner. I really am. So yeah, getting back to the practice of energy cultivation. So yeah, it comes from yoga. So Bodhidharma taught the Chan Buddhist monks of China in the Songshan Mountains, where originally, so what they say, the legend of Kung Fu was born in the Shaolin Temple. So anyway, Bodhidharma wasn't accepted at that time by the Chan Buddhist monks. So he decided to go into a cave, which was not far from the temple. And apparently the monks were told to keep an eye on him to see what he was getting up to. And apparently he did sitting meditation facing the wall. And they reckon he'd been practicing sit in meditation facing the wall for over 10 years. This is what I know from the again the story of Bodhidharma. He sat facing the wall for 10 years. You have to quote me on that. Some people say it was 9, but from what I know myself personally, it's 10 years. And they said that he meditated that hard, the energy from his third eye had put an indentation in the wall. And the monks thought, who was watching, thought he was crazy. They really thought he was crazy. So anyway, and he came up with these movements from the yoga that he'd already practiced whilst he was back in India. And they thought he was crazy and everything. And at the end of it, he was teaching them specialised stuff for cultivating one's own inner body and strengthening one's own body from the inner and the physical attributes of Qigong. And hence the Kung Fu was born from that, you know, so many years later. So, yeah, and the monks realised this internal power that was created through the Qigong practices. And this is where my fascination came into effect of it. When I first saw Bruce Lee, and he was always talking about Qi power. I didn't know what that was, I didn't understand what it was at the time. Like most martial artists who take up like Judo, which was one of my original martial arts backgrounds, my grassroots, and Wado-ryu karate. Those were my original grassroots. And boxing, of course, because boxing is classed as a martial arts form as well, because you're learning skills and techniques and, you know, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so those were the grassroots of my martial arts background. Boxing, Judo and Wado-ryu karate. And then came Lao Gar Kung Fu, which I was introduced to my long-time friend, Derek Barty. Rest in peace, Derek, bless you. He introduced me into a Kung Fu system called Lao Gar, which originates from Shaolin Temple. And at the time, I didn't know there were some hidden Qigong practices in that as well. So years later, took up some other practices of Kung Fu, you know, and spoke with a lot of people. And then with the book information, I was fascinated about Qigong again. This Qigong kept popping up all the time. So I began to research it, a lot of it in the late 1990s. 1999 in particular was the year we lost our dear beloved father, bless your dad. And seeing that happen, someone pass away in front of you, it's unexplainable for those who've never had to go through that. You know, may never have to go through something like that. So again, I spoke with some people who knew some Qigong, and people who I knew were very limited and with their knowledge about Qigong practices. I've got a good friend called James Gray, because I know you're a subscriber to my channel, James, and you do watch some of the videos we put out. And I've known James for many, many years. I've known James from my days of when I worked in loss prevention. But some of you don't know what loss prevention is. It's another form of retail security. And I met James, who worked on the carpet department. And we befriended you, and we just clicked, and he was a Tai Chi practitioner himself. Very good too, very, very good. And he told me about Qigong as well, and I learnt some things from him, so we swapped information over and whatever. And he was amazed about my energy. I didn't realise that I had Qi energy cycles going on. Unbeknownst to me at the time, I didn't know none of this, but James could pick up on it. And yeah, so I got deeply involved with Qigong practice and did the belly breathing exercises, which they call it. It's in the abdomen, where your navel is. And I learned how to really go deeply into that exercise. Kind of like forgot about everything else for the time being and focused on that breathing exercise, which I found out is called embryonic breathing. And a well-known grandmaster called Dr. Yang Jwing Ming, I purchased several of his books, and all the information that I needed to know about Qigong were in his books. So I kind of like did the practices before. I knew about it, but again, like I said, I wasn't aware that I was being taught these other practices. So yeah, anyway, I focused on this belly breathing exercise, and this is the tutorial about it. Right, what I find out is basically you are cultivating your own battery in your body by doing these practices. Now, how they are done, you can either sit up as I am now in the chair, or you can lie down on the bed with your palms facing up, depending if you're comfortable doing it, or you can face them down. You've got to be as comfortable as you can, especially when you're sitting up in a chair, very comfortable. You can put your hands on your knees, okay? Or if you want to go for the hand position, for men, it's the left hand over the right hand, and then you just touch your thumbs together. For the women, you want to practice this, you put your right hand over your left hand, connecting your thumbs together. Okay, so as you're sitting as comfortable as possible, no tension in the shoulders at all. This is when you're doing the sitting up posture. You try to formulate a natural curve in your spine. Don't force yourself sitting up. Or if you're quite wanted to learn about the lotus position, you know, you can cross your legs. But I've never done the lotus sitting. I've done half lotus when I practice this. But yeah, hands on your knees, or when you're lying down on the mattress, or if you can practice it on the floor, but make sure you have a pillow to elevate your head up. Or you could even have a pillow as well on your feet, well, underneath your feet, you know. But you've got to be as comfortable as you can physically. Now, once you're physically comfortable, then you've got to get your mind into that relaxed state while you're doing this practice. And I know we are bombarded by things every day. The internet's one of the worst for being bombarded by things, because all the things that we see, all the negative things that we are bombarded by every day, believe it or not, it registers in here. And you may not realise it's doing that, but it does. If you're living in built-up areas, there's a lot of toxic gases out there in the environment from the smoke from vehicles. And I'll be coming into the electrical car and vehicle era, but you know, it's still there, the pollutions are still there. Where we live now, there's a lot of greenery, and there really is a lot of greenery, so we're very fortunate where we're living now, me and Max, bless her. So yeah, anyway, right, for those who prefer to do the sitting, again, you've got two options. The lying down, which we call, believe it or not, and I've mentioned this before, it's called the corpse position. If you're comfortable wanting to do that, practice on your bed. You know, you're more than welcome to practice it that way, or as I'm sitting up in a comfortable chair. You know, it's entirely up to you to choose whatever position you want to practice this breathing exercise in. And this is what we're focusing on, the breathing exercising, because that becomes the generator exercise behind cultivating one's own chi. Now, to activate the chi, again, it's not easy, and it really isn't. I know for myself how hard I've had to work over the years to get to where I am today. I mean, may I remind you, I am a 60-year-old man. You know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. People always say you don't look your age and whatever. I always get a lot of it. Max will back me up on this. I always get a lot of people say, well, what's your secret for looking so young? Well, again, it's what I've practiced. It's what I've practiced. I don't preach it. I'm not preaching to you on this video about this. This is a tutorial. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to practice this or not. But I know 1995 kid is keen on wanting to learn it. So this is why I'm doing this tutorial for you. So anyway, yeah, sitting down, lying down, whatever position you want. But you've got to be as comfortable as possible. Not to get into a state where you're going to fall asleep, because when you start practicing these type of relaxation and cultivating exercises, you do come to a point where you will almost naturally fall to sleep. It's happened to me quite a few times, and it really has over the years of practice. But then once you get into the practice of it, you begin to become, well, to activate what we call your subconscious mind. Now that takes a lot of practice to get to that level. This is where I am now. My subconscious mind now is fully active while I'm doing this video for you, and it really is. This is an unbelievable thing for me to say, but my subconscious mind is not asleep, it's active. And my conscious mind, of course, when you've got a conscious mind, which some of you may or may not know about, a conscious mind is when your mind is awake, fully awake. Well, I've got the both. I've got my subconscious mind is fully awake. It's because of the practices over the years. When we're asleep, then the conscious mind becomes very proactive. Then that's your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind then goes to sleep. I've got both, and it's every day for me, every day. It's a weird feeling, a bizarre feeling. You feel, when you first experience this, you feel like you're not here, but yet you are here. Hence the name, Yin and Yang. That's what this is all about, you know. But anyway, so right, getting back to the practice. And I do tend to waffle sometimes, but what I'm talking about is going to help you in your journey for your practice. And it will help. It's helped me. It really has. It's made me see the truth of life itself. That's a big thing for me to say too, because you get to see the truth and the reality of how life really is. You become more receptive to the natural laws of nature. That's another thing. This is all part of it. You're forever evolving through the practice of the internalization training, and you do become really in touch with nature, especially with the animals. Wow, me and Max have experienced weird things. I mean, while I'm doing this video, you may hear a lot of animal, bird activity in the background as we progress on with this, but anyway. So right, you're sitting, okay, as comfortable as you can, or you're lying down. Whatever position you choose to practice in, this method in, whatever you feel comfortable for you. And the practice times as well. Again, this is what it boils down to. We live in a fast-paced, very fast-paced world. There's a lot of things going on. Some of us are at work full-time. I mean, I used to do 7-day-a-week work, and I really did. But yeah, I still found time to do my little bit of a practice, just little practice. You know, I'd start off with about 5 minutes, 10 minutes practice every day. And this is the thing with this kind of practice. It has to be done every day, and there's no other ways about it. It's got to be done every single day. But again, it's up to you how you fit it into your lifestyle. And that's another thing with your lifestyle, with this practice. It's maybe hard for some people who smoke and who drink alcohol. It's one of these practices that, unfortunately, I sacrificed them all in the end. I had to. This is another interpretation of self-sacrifice. Socialising, of course, you know, I've done it all. I've done all that stuff. It was a big part of my life at one point, and I thought, wow, where's it getting me, really? It's one of them ones. It's a catch-22, isn't it? Socialisation of life, it really is. But anyway, yeah, getting back to the practice of belly breathing, cultivating exercise. So again, sit as comfortable as you can, or lie down as comfortable as you can. Get really relaxed, both physically and mentally. Okay, so once you go into that state, then we can begin the breathing exercises, the embryonic breathing exercise, which I will be teaching you, or guiding you. We'll be guiding you. Right, so you close your mouth. Okay, and when you do these exercises, your mouth must be closed in a gentle fashion. Don't tighten it up. This is all done very relaxed everywhere, inside and outwardly. Okay, even the breath is done in a very gentle and relaxed fashion. So your mouth's closed, just lightly closed. Get your tongue, you put it on the roof of your mouth, just behind your 2 front teeth. There's a point there. Some people will struggle with this, and you really will. I did. I struggled with it, and I really did. It took me a good while to get used to it, and that's the thing. It's one of them things, you've got to learn how to get used to it. It's like the saying is, very famous saying with Bruce Lee, when the student wants to learn off him, the cup's already full, empty it out. And then the student responds, oh, what are you doing that for? You've got to learn, you've got to unlearn what you have learned. It's the same with this, it's the same methodology. what you have learnt over the years through life. Some things you've got to unlearn and discard them. I've had to do it. So anyway, your tongue, just behind your two front teeth, not touching your teeth at all, not touching the enamel of your teeth. You've got little ridges there, just behind them. And it's the ridges which you can actually feel, that's where the point is. The ridges form a line going back into the top roof of your mouth, just very slightly, and you will feel it. So the tongue has to be placed there, you have to rest it there. And again, your tongue should not be forced there, it's got to be gently placed there. Okay. Meanwhile, your mouth is still closed, you've got to keep this closed all the time. Keeping the tongue there as well. Now, here comes the breathing or the breath movement. Okay, so this is done in and out. You're using your nose as the inhalation and the exhalation in the breath. People might think, oh, why is that being done in that method? But this is what I've learned in this method. The Taoist monks, with the monks, you've got the Buddhists and you've got the Taoists. The Buddhist monks, obviously, they're all bald-headed. The Taoist monks, or the Wudang monks, they've got the hair, full head of hair and everything. They practice a different breathing style to what the Shaolin monks practice. Well, I focused on that, what the Taoist monks, the Wudang monks practice. So anyway, getting back to the breathing, sorry. So anyway, your mouth's closed gently, got the tongue on the roof of your mouth, the ridge is just behind your two front teeth. So now here comes the breath. So as you inhale through your nose, never raise the shoulders up while you're doing this. The shoulders have to be relaxed. Hands on the knees, okay? You can close your eyes if you want to. So you inhale through the nose. As you inhale through the nose, your abdomen muscles now come into play. Once you inhale, your breath has to be done in a gentle fashion on your inhalation. So once you start to inhale, you pull. Imagine this is your stomach muscles. You pull your stomach muscles in. So when you breathe inward, you pull your tummy muscles in. You know your navel, right? Just imagine there's a cord on the navel part and it's pulling your navel or your belly button inwards. So this is the motion what I'm trying to explain here. So you inhale, remember your mouth's closed, the tongue on the roof of your mouth, just behind your two front teeth. You're inhaling and you're pulling your abdomen muscles inward as you're inhaling. So you inhale gently and slowly, pulling your abdomen muscles in, pulling them inward. So once you fully filled your lungs up as much as you can, excuse me. Now, this is what will happen with most people. Once you inhale, what happens, you will raise your shoulders up, but you've got to get into a good habit of keeping them relaxed, not forcing them down, just keeping them relaxed. This is why I suggest you put your hands on your knees to help you relax your shoulders. So you're inhaling through your nose, putting your tummy muscles inward as much as you can. Don't try to do it in a forceful fashion. I know it may happen because we're so used to breathing in a different way, a natural breathing way, because this natural breathing way, as we inhale through the nose, you expand your tummy naturally, and then you breathe out through your mouth, and then once you breathe out, your tummy muscles go inward naturally. Well, this version I'm teaching you how to generate your energy, your chi energy through this practice. So you're inhaling through your nose and you pull your tummy muscles inward as much as you can, and you fill your lungs up as much as you can. Again, never done in a forceful fashion. It will be awkward to get used to at the start, and I can promise you it will, but you will get used to it with regular practice. So once you've done that, then comes the exhalation outward of the nose, and this time your tummy muscles are in and then they expand outwardly. So inhale, exhale. Okay, so you're exhaling through the nose again, keeping the mouth closed at all the time with your tongue on the roof of your mouth. You exhale out the nose, and then your abdomen comes outward. Now, when this process is done, so you're doing that regularly, you will get saliva developing or pooling in the base of your mouth. Swallow it, which is very good for your esophagus. It helps to lubricate the insides of your esophagus. And the clothing, I must stress this point, you should be wearing is loose fitting clothing. Okay, you must use this type of clothing, nothing that's going to restrict your abdomen area, because that's the generator for cultivating your chi. Okay, so we go through it again. You're inhaling through your nose, keeping as relaxed as possible, both mentally and physically. Inhalation through the nose, gently pulling in your tummy muscles inward. Remember, as you inhale, pulling the tummy muscles inward. Okay, put it inward. So once you've fully filled your lungs up by inhaling, then you exhale throughout the nose again. And this time the abdomen muscles gently come outwardly. So inhalation, exhalation. So this is what your abdomen, this is representing your abdomen, my hand is here. So inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. So with the breath as well, try to make the breath quiet. It's not easy to do, is it? But again, with regular practice, you will naturally be breathing very quietly. Okay, so I hope that is enough for you, 1995 kid, and for anyone else who's interested in learning this. If you want to leave your comments in the section of this video, you're more than welcome to. And again, share the video. Tell people about me and Max, what we do on our channel. Just had another new subscriber today. Thank you very much for your subscription. You know, I'm just being who I truly am. I just want to share this inner energy journey with you all, because I've come across a lot of skepticism throughout my life for what I do, and believe you me, I have proven them wrong. And there's one place where people can get to see me, what I do, is at the UK Martial Arts Show every year. So yeah, I would love to get some big TV exposure again, and I have mentioned before, if I can get on This Morning Show or any shows, programs for the BBC, for Channel 4 or Channel 5, so I can show people the reality of chi energy. This is not no gimmick, this is not stage what I do. Some people will think, oh, he's staging all this. Yeah, you may believe it, but I can tell you now, I have never ever staged anything in what I do. Never. Real people out there who've got no connection with me have experienced what I do, and it's freaked them out. It really has. I'm being honest and truthful about this. This is something that I'm passionate about, and I love it, and I'm not obsessed with it. I was very close at one time, but no, I enjoy it and I love what I do. So I know, again, if I can just help one person in guiding them, not teaching them, in guiding them, then I know for a fact what I can actually do and show is the real deal. Come on, I've had top martial artists from around the world who comes to the show, who respected me for what I do. And again, I will mention his name, Benny the Jet, who experienced my chi at this year's show, and he really did. He said, I could feel you. I could feel you. The man was staring at what I was doing, him and his wife were. Benny was like, you know, I had the acknowledgement from that man. That man retired undefeated in full contact kickboxing. One of the pioneers of full contact fighting. He was in a movie with Jackie Chan in Wheels on Meals. And this man could feel what I do. You know, I have the respect for people like that, you know, who are the world leaders in the martial arts, and they truly are, boy. And to meet them in person, it's not an idolisation of them, it's just, they're a human being, just like me and you, and that's how I treat them. because they're very famous and whatever martial arts people, I still treat them as human beings. And I show the respect as well for what they've achieved in life. So yeah, I'm going to keep pushing this out there about chi energy. I know there may be some organisations who may not support me. I says, well, I'm not a part of that organisation. I'm doing my own thing. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, yeah, thank you for your support. And 1995 kid, let me know how you get on. Okay? And I will do some more other practices on this as time goes by and to share with you. Okay, and again, thank you everyone. And again, if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed as yet, hit that subscription button. It doesn't cost you nothing. Hit the notification bell as we upload content as often as possible, you know. Get the lights going, because again, it's all about the algorithms. The more attention we have to our channel, the greater the algorithm it creates for us. I just want to get it out there, share the channel, and again with the comments as well, keep them respectful and kind. That's all we ask of you. I know we're going to get these trolls and keyboard warriors who are out there. I've come across many of them, and I really have. They've even met some in person, and they get quite surprised when they meet me. Kind of like, wow, change their narrative and opinion about me. It's, again, they hide behind the keyboards. I'm not a keyboard warrior. I ain't one of them people. Never have been, never will be. Okay, what I say is what I know throughout my own life's journey. Okay, so thank you again. Me and Maxine do really appreciate your support. And to the martial arts family out there and the Chi family, thank you, thank you.